What is up, guys? So let me break down what my idea was for today. If we zoom out, I mentioned this in the live, this is what we were seeing. Okay, this is S&P. If I go to NAS, we had an AMD week essentially. I didn't do this in the last recap, but it was definitely in the back of my mind. I just didn't mention it for some reason. We go on the 4 hour, you'll see it much clearly. Here's our manipulation on the Wednesday, clear Wednesday, reversal week. And of course, we have our distribution afterwards. Price came down into this 4 hour order block, you can see, and that's where we had that continued bullish run yesterday. And we reached the top of this accumulation, which is the minimum essentially when you're trading an AMD. Like, it is the minimum amount, or as far as price would go to. So I think my mistake was when I used my standard deviation projection, I used it on the 15-minute. And I think that was a bit too ambitious to assume price would go that far. And that was my mistake in measuring it incorrectly. I shouldn't be using the 15-minute at all actually. We should be focusing rather 5 minutes and lower. So that was the most accurate measurement right there for the standard deviation, and that of course lines up with the top of this accumulation, which now makes sense, right? But of course, as I've said before, everyone's a good hindsight trader, right? So yeah, hence why I was bullish today, thinking we're going to reach that top when I had that measurement up there. So having that bias in mind kind of pushed me to ignore some pretty obvious signs, like our SMT that we had up here. You could say we were trading inside of this range, and price came in, swept that top right as market open, formed an SMT. If you look on S&P, it is definitely an SMT at that high. And yeah, some people in the chat definitely got that sell, which was really awesome to see. You guys catch that. I wish I could catch that at that as well, but as I mentioned before, I had a different bias and I was kind of married to that bias. So for me, what I saw was just a temporary bearish move to sweep some liquidity and then for us to move higher. But yeah, I made a dumb early trade. I'm gonna show you guys now. If I have a look real quick, we had an early entry after market open, and that was at, let's see here, it was 9:38 here somewhere. We took this entry and our stop loss was essentially over there. Yeah, we took this entry thinking, okay, price is going to you know, come retrace and then continue higher towards the goal that we were looking for. But of course that one failed, which was entirely my fault. I think that was an early trade and I should have waited for more structure. Even if it was the wrong bias, I should have waited for more structure. But I'm definitely not angry at the last and final trade. that took place afterwards. We entered at a reasonable spot right here, and then my stop loss was here, and then of course targeting the highs. We ended up with a break-even trade, so we moved our stop loss higher as soon as we went and rejected this order block right here, this one there. That was my opportunity to move my stop loss to break even, and from there you can see price stopped me out at break even. This trade I'm not mad about. I'm okay with losing that trade, because not because it was break even, because I know it was more logical. It made more sense at the time. That early entry did not make sense. But yeah, that is the reasons why I was bullish today. And as you can see, we missed the obvious signs. What we should have done was paid attention to what was happening, price trading inside of this, you could say this 15-minute or this hourly candle, or just this range in general. Price sweeping, creating this nice AMD setup, and then of course selling. Why were we selling? Because, well, if we are reaching our max target for the week here at the top of this AMD, then there's no reason for price to really push higher if we're clearly getting signs of bearish momentum, right? So yeah, that's exactly what happened today. And yeah, we didn't lose a lot in that first trade. Let me show you now. We only lost about $15 in total. You can see $16 on that trade, and then that break-even trade, as you can see. So nothing really major. We are still in the game. As you can see, our max loss, we're like at that, we're essentially at that halfway point. Yeah, there's nothing else I can say. It's just one of those days. Price can reach the target earlier, a day earlier. So even if you have that bias of a Wednesday reversal like I had, price can still reach its final target on Thursday and then decide to reverse or retrace on the Friday. So it's just one of those variations that we get when it comes to the profile. So yeah, and I think me being married to the bias that I had and stuck with this this 15-minute leg projection at the incorrect spot, and then, you know, that essentially is what kind of threw me off and left me blind to intraday signs. Because I mean, if you look at the intraday profile, it makes sense. Price is trailing upwards. It's a clear New York reversal profile, right? When price is moving like this, we know New York is gonna come, sweep, and then reverse. But that's, for me, something I did not see at the time, or I was a bit blind to, because I was insistent that we're making this accumulation and price is gonna just retrace into London and then continue, which of course is not something that's logical. But of course, you must not try and force something that isn't there. Make sure that you are double checking the measurements. You are not super glued to the bias. I know we did make analysis today and clearly did not help as much, but the logic was there. The logic was definitely there. It just did not apply to what was happening today. But again, I say we are going to get this right. We're gonna see wins again. I'm pretty sure we'll see that next week. I'll see you guys Tuesday. So 2:30, I'm gonna do analysis again. I'm gonna sit and analyze the markets, the CPI on Tuesday. So definitely after news, we will be looking for opportunities to trade. So I'll be live the whole time from 2:30 next week. So I'll see you guys then. Cheers. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok for the lives if you want to watch. And yeah, make sure you click the links for those free resources if you like. Trust me, though, the strategy works. I'm showing you everything is exactly like the textbook. It's just you yourself have to apply it. You must have the right timing, you must have the right mindset and everything. So yeah, make sure you enjoy the weekend. Wish your mom happy Mother's Day and enjoy.